For thousands of years, we've looked up at the moon with a sense of wonder. It's guided travelers, inspired poets, and marked the passing of our lives. But there's a profound truth about it that we rarely consider. We only ever see one side. The same familiar face is always turned toward us, perfectly synchronized with our planet in a phenomenon known as tidal locking. This means the far side, often mistakenly called the dark side, remains forever hidden from our direct view. For millennia, this unseen face was the ultimate mystery. No telescope could reveal its secrets, and no human had ever laid eyes on it. This void of knowledge gave birth to countless legends. Ancient cultures imagined the moon as a living god, a celestial watcher influencing our tides, our crops, and even our very emotions. Welcome to the Cosmic Reflections channel. But none of those myths could have prepared humanity for what we found when we finally peeked behind the curtain. In 1959, the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3 changed history forever. It transmitted the first grainy, blurry images of the moon's far side, and the scientific community was stunned. The hidden face looked nothing like the moon we thought we knew. It was rugged, scarred with craters and mountains, and cast in strange, unfamiliar shadows. It had far fewer of the dark, flat plains we call seas, and was instead a chaotic, battered landscape. It was as if two completely different worlds had been fused together. But what the public saw was just a fraction of the story. Dozens of Luna 3's photographs were never released. The official reason? They were too unclear or unusable. Unofficially, whispers began to circulate, whispers that something on those images had been deliberately hidden from the world. A few years later, the space race intensified. The United States and the Soviet Union weren't just competing for dominance in orbit, they were racing for knowledge about what was really on the moon. When the Apollo missions began, NASA collected thousands of photographs. Most showed a lifeless, desolate landscape, but some didn't. Over the years, former NASA employees and contractors have come forward with startling claims. They allege that key photographs were airbrushed and edited before being released to the public. They speak of seeing geometric structures, perfect right angles, and even domes and towers rising from the lunar surface. One whistleblower described a cluster of buildings near a crater, an image that was later dismissed in official archives as overexposed. Another claimed to have seen photos showing glowing lights in the darkness far from any human craft. These stories sound like science fiction, until you examine the pattern of secrecy that has shrouded the moon since the 1960s. Many Apollo photos remained classified for decades. When some were finally declassified, they appeared suspiciously altered or cropped. Why would a public agency like NASA hide parts of the moon from the very public that funds it? NASA's official stance is simple. There is nothing unusual on the moon. Every anomaly, they say, can be explained by natural geology, tricks of light and shadow, or photographic glitches. But independent researchers, astronomers, geologists, and even former military analysts have noticed things that don't add up. Certain craters on the far side appear to have reflective, almost metallic surfaces. Some features form symmetrical shapes that nature rarely creates on its own. Furthermore, the far side has an unusually strong magnetic field in specific regions, even though the moon lacks a global magnetic core like Earth's. Where does this localized magnetism come from? Could it be the remnants of ancient buried technology? Or is it evidence that something or someone modified the lunar environment long, long ago? As technology advanced, more nations sent probes to the moon. In 2019, China's Chang'e 4 mission made history by becoming the first to successfully land on the far side. Its rover, U-22, was equipped with ground-penetrating radar, and what it found only deepened the mystery. The rover detected a strange, gel-like substance beneath the surface, a material described as glassy and partially metallic. The term baffled scientists worldwide. On top of that, images from the mission appeared to show odd lights glowing in the distance. Yet China released only limited data, leaving the most intriguing findings under wraps. This secrecy has reignited a fascinating debate. Some researchers propose a radical idea, the artificial moon theory. This hypothesis suggests our moon might not be a natural satellite at all, but a constructed object, placed in orbit by an unknown civilization eons ago. It sounds outlandish, but consider this. The moon is exactly the right size and distance from Earth to perfectly block out the sun during a solar eclipse. The statistical probability of this happening by chance is astronomical. It's almost as if it were positioned there deliberately. Ancient myths from Zulu, Mayan, and Greek traditions even speak of a time before the moon, suggesting it arrived in our sky at some point. Could these be fragments of a forgotten history? Then there's the mystery of the moon's interior. During the Apollo 12 mission, astronauts intentionally crashed a lunar module onto the surface. The result? The moon rang like a bell for nearly an hour. NASA confirmed similar results from other impacts. The surface vibrated in a way that's inconsistent with solid rock, behaving more like a hollow sphere. If the moon is hollow or contains vast caverns, what's inside? Even today, astronomers observe what are called transient lunar phenomena, brief flashes or glows on the surface. NASA often attributes them to outgassing or static discharge. But some observers insist they look artificial, like beacons or energy surges. During the Apollo 11 mission, astronauts reported seeing an unidentified object following them in orbit. Buzz Aldrin later admitted this, but said they avoided mentioning it publicly to prevent panic. Official radio transcripts from the missions contain unexplained silences and coded exchanges, fueling speculation that astronauts were communicating things not meant for public ears. The deeper we look, the more the questions pile up. Why haven't humans returned to the moon since 1972? NASA cites budget cuts, but a half-century delay for a destination just 3 days away seems extreme. Could it be that something or someone warned us to stay away? Dr. Edgar Mitchell, the sixth man to walk on the moon, later stated in interviews that he believed aliens have been observing us and governments know. Modern radar scans show that the moon's mass is unevenly distributed. Dense anomalies, which NASA calls mascons, lie beneath large craters. Could these be the remains of ancient buried machinery? In 2020, a team of astronomers detected artificial-like reflections from the far side, resembling signals bouncing off metal, not rock. The findings were quickly withdrawn and labeled inconclusive. We see a pattern, a shocking discovery, a moment of excitement, and then official silence. Imagine for a moment that the moon isn't just a rock. Imagine it's a relic, a monument left behind by a civilization far more advanced than our own. If that were true, what would it mean for humanity's story? The moon has always been a mirror, reflecting light and mystery. Perhaps it hides its face for a reason. And maybe, just maybe, we're not being told the whole truth. Thank you for watching. If this journey into the unknown sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries.